Welcome to The Explainer. In a world that's always changing, how do you really reinvent yourself? Well, today we're diving into a story that answers that exact question. It all starts with one man's personal mission to learn, and it uncovers this deep connection between two completely different cultures, and, believe it or not, it reveals a blueprint for the future of work for all of us. And that mission, it belongs to Kazuhiko Kawasaki. I mean, think about that. For 50 years, he's dedicated his life to this one powerful idea, building a bridge of learning between the Nordic countries and Japan and helping each side grow by connecting these two very different worlds. So, what does a mission like that even look like in our post-pandemic world? Well, when everything suddenly shifted online, Kawasaki didn't just, adapt. He hit the accelerator. He saw the crisis as a massive opportunity and launched himself into this incredible learning marathon that just perfectly captures the spirit of our times. First up, he went right for the human element. He dove into courses like Yale's Science of Well-Being, starting with that fundamental question, in a world that's changing so fast, what is it that truly makes us happy and fulfilled? Next, he tackled the tech revolution head-on. And he didn't just learn about AI from a distance. No, he got his hands dirty. He mastered tools like ChatGPT to really understand, on a practical level, how this new intelligence is reshaping how we work and live. And then he tied it all together with a bigger purpose, studying how business can actually be a force for good. Now, these are just 3 examples, but here's the truly mind-blowing part. Since 2021, he has completed over 350 online courses. 350. That's not just learning, that is a complete and total reinvention. But this wasn't just, a random sprint through a course catalog. Absolutely not. It was a deliberate, strategic curriculum. You can see the focus was squarely on the skills that are essential for the future of work: leadership, creativity, tech skills, and of course, personal well-being. This is basically a blueprint for the modern professional. And this brings us to the bigger picture. Kawasaki's incredible journey, it's not an isolated case. It's actually a preview of a massive global shift, this post-pandemic learning boom that's completely reshaping how all of us think about our careers. Just take Japan, for example. That 47%, let that sink in. That's nearly half of all professionals actively learning new skills just to stay relevant. And if you look at the younger generation, folks in their 20s and 30s, that number jumps to a staggering 57%. So what's behind this global rush to reskill? Well, it's pretty much a perfect storm. Hybrid work is the new normal. Digitalization and automation are changing jobs faster than ever before. And all that together has created this urgent, worldwide need to close the skills gap and just adapt. Okay, but here's where it gets really, really interesting. The word reskilling, it doesn't actually mean the same thing to everyone. If you look closer, you start to see this fascinating contrast in what really drives professionals in these two different worlds, Japan and the Nordic countries. For a lot of Japanese professionals, learning is a very practical tool. It's all about gaining real tangible skills for job security, for climbing that career ladder in a pretty traditional hierarchical system. But in the Nordic countries, learning is often tied much more deeply to personal growth, to work-life balance, and this bigger idea of self-realization. And these different motivations, they really shape everything else. In Japan, you see that hierarchical culture, the focus on the group, the long hours. In the Nordics, it's a flatter structure that really values individual autonomy. This changes everything, from career paths to the specific skills people are looking for, and even how they prefer to learn. One is structured and career-focused, the other is more experiential and life-focused. So, you've got these two very different worlds with two very different needs. How on earth do you create a space where they can actually learn from each other? Well, this is where the story comes full circle. Right back to Kazuhiko Kawasaki and the strategy behind his project, Radio Kawasaki. So, Radio Kawasaki was launched in 2019. And talk about timing, right? It was just before the whole world changed. And its goal wasn't just to host some online workshops. No, it was to build a real, genuine hub, a place where professionals from these two very distinct cultures could come together and explore the future of work and life. The ultimate vision is to be a hub for what he calls glocal solutions. It's a great word, glocal. It's all about using unique local strengths from both Japanese and Nordic cultures to solve the shared global problems that we're all facing in this new era. And look, this idea didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's actually built on this really strong, long-standing foundation of collaboration. We're talking design thinking schools, educational exchanges, research institutes, and even major startup conferences that have been connecting these two regions for years. This whole story of personal drive and cross-cultural learning, it's not just inspiring, right? It's a practical model. So let's break down how you can take these same lessons and apply them to your own path of reinvention. So the big question is, how can you take this incredible blueprint for reinvention and actually apply it to your own life? Well, it really boils down to a simple 4-step framework. First, define your mission, just like Kawasaki did. What's your why? Second, learn strategically. Don't just collect certificates. Be deliberate. Target the skills that will actually bridge where you are now to where you want to go. Third, connect across divides. Seriously, go seek out people and ideas that are different from your own. That's where the real innovation happens. And finally, number 4, turn your knowledge into action. Create something, share what you've learned, build your own radio. So, we'll leave you with one final question to think about. If you had to pick just one, what is the single skill that could truly reinvent your future? The answer to that might just be the beginning of your own incredible journey.